All right, folks. Steve Alcorn here with you once again. Tonight, we're going to go over some of the things I've sold and some of the lessons I've learned. You might notice a little bit difference here. Tonight, we're using StreamYard, the paid version, to record this video. So this isn't live. It's just a recorded video using StreamYard, but you'll notice there's no logo up the top. I can put my own up there, and I will eventually. And I'd like to thank the people who signed up via my link, which you can find down below the video, for StreamYard, and then paid the fee for the professional or the basic version or whatever it is, the $20, $25 a month, whatever, because I have 2 free months. And I would like to thank you folks. And if you would like to sign up for StreamYard, there is a link down below. You don't have to pay. It's free. You can do up to 20 hours free broadcast live a month. So go ahead and sign up. It's you got nothing to lose there. I've been using the free version for a long time. I just finally decided to go with the paid version, and I'm going to move the microphone because this is the second time I've recorded this video, because the first time, for some reason, the sound didn't come out correctly. So hopefully this time it does. Again, I would like to remind everybody that on Monday nights, I do a live little auction show here on this channel with my brother, Mark, and my brother-in-law, Joe. And we do that every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're got something that you want to buy, we might just have it for you. So come by on Monday nights and see what we got to offer. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and talk about what's sold on eBay recently. And there's a couple items in here that I've made some mistakes on, and maybe you guys can avoid these mistakes by not doing what I've done. And hopefully you learn a little bit, and so do I. So we're going to go ahead and share the screen so you can see what I've sold. This is just a Shure is a great microphone brand. This one's vintage. I don't know, 80s probably, maybe 90s, early 90s. But it's a microphone, and I got this for 50 cents at a yard sale, 50 whole cents. We sold this one for $18.99. Shure microphones, no matter what they are, will tend to sell for a little bit of money. So this was the 12L Low Z Dynamic microphone. Don't know what any of that means, but I sold it. So I knew that the brand name was good, so that's why I picked it up. This is, believe it or not, this is PS2 disc 2003 WWE SmackDown Here Comes the Pain disc only. Wow. I believe I resurfaced this one. It did play. I always put in there may contain some blemishes, but does not affect play if it truly does play. So this one was $34.95 plus shipping for disc only. So I don't know if it's a rare game. I have actually this came from the Hoarder House, so it was free to me, and it was loose because I found it on the floor. There was a bunch of discs like that. There's discs all over that house. So this is one of the ones that came from that Hoarder House, which is a good deal for me because I had $0 into it. Just a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that house. That was a fun job. So this is a Jan Lynn cross-stitch kit, the Minstrel Dragon. The kit number was 774-008. This one was new and sealed. A lot of you folks will know that cross-stitch kits can do really well, and especially cross-stitch kits that have animals, and especially cross-stitch kits who have weird, interesting depictions. Unicorns tend to do well, horses do well, that kind of thing. But this is a dragon, something I'd never seen. And Jan Lynn isn't the best company, but when I saw, we saw this at a yard sale, my wife actually picked this one up. I think we have 50 cents or $1, probably $1 into it. But I took a best offer on this one for $70 plus shipping. Really good deal on that one. Okay, next. This is lesson number 1. There will be 2 lessons tonight, but this is lesson number 1. Lesson number 1 is just because I found this for $1 at a yard sale doesn't mean it's worth $175 or $100, which is the offer I took, $100 plus shipping, so $106.90. If you find this character and you find it authentic and you find it cheap, it it will sell for $100. It'll sell for 175, up to 175 new sealed. This one had some condition issues with the box. It was sealed. Both seals were intact, the top and the bottom seal. But I did notice when I listed it that his arm was bent up. It should have been straight down. And there was some other weird things going on with this one. But I thought, maybe it's just a factory mishap. And I mean, those kinds of things happen on occasion. So because it was sealed and it did look authentic to me, according to what I was doing my research on, I figured I'd go ahead and sell it. Well, it turns out, I don't know whether or not it was authentic, but it wasn't new. This thing apparently this is a character that comes apart and you put him together. He has different faces and different body parts and different weapons and all sorts of things. And somebody had put them together. And then they used hot glue to keep him together. So he was definitely not new. How they got the seals back on this thing, I have no clue. So this one, of course, was sent back and I had to refund it. That's okay. It was a lesson that when I come across an action figure that I'm not aware of, that I should probably do a little bit more research before I go ahead and try to sell it. I just got excited, listed it too soon without doing the research I should have, and it ended up in a return. That was lesson one. Of course, these Radica big screen games, or any Radica game, handheld little games, tend to go for a little bit of money. This one was just, I paid 50 cents at a yard sale. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned it, but that action figure was $1 at a yard sale. So it would have been a great come up, but, I screwed that one up. So, and I'm not afraid to tell you guys when I screw up. So this one, anyway, $14.99. You guys know about these things. New sealed, these things go for decent money, but even open, they can go for $15. When you're paying 50 cents at a yard sale, pick them up, This is retail arbitrage from GameStop, or maybe it was, it might have been GameStop. I don't remember, but I know it was $2, and I know I had it for a very long time. But this is Nerdy Red Flags, probably about a year. It sold for $11.99 free ship, and got feedback on this one. They were very happy with it. This is a very nice, very old sewing machine, probably from the 1950s, I believe, just judging by the color and style. I did a little bit of research on this one and found out they don't sell very often. They don't come up very often, but it's sought after because of the color. Definitely that iconic 50s look. So anybody who has a 50s style home or a museum or whatever might want a machine like this. I had $299 on it, the pie in the sky, high pie in the sky estimate, but I actually took a bid or an offer, for $189. This thing did work. There was a couple little condition issues with it, but nothing major, nothing that couldn't be fixed by the person who bought it. And of course, I disclosed all that in the description. The one thing that was unique about this particular one is that it still had its attachments, and it still had its original foot pedal, and it still had its owner's manuals and paperwork. So that's probably why it did really well. But we also charge shipping, so I always do calculated shipping on these big things, big heavy things. These are Keen shoes. I don't know why I didn't put the word paracord in the title, but it didn't matter because they sold anyway. I actually sent offers out on this one, and somebody accepted it. So I sent an offer out for $35.99 plus shipping, and somebody took it. We paid $5 for these at a yard sale. I don't know if they've ever been worn. They were pretty clean on the bottom. Maybe once. If you can see that tread, it looks practically new, but there is some dirt on it, but not bad. So they were very nice shoes, and they were sold about a week ago, and I haven't heard anything, so they must have been okay. Another video game sale that surprised me. This one's $34.95. Looks like I had free shipping on this one. Need for Speed Most Wanted Black Edition. This is a 2-disc set. I think the one was a DVD and the one was the game or something of that nature. But anyway, both discs worked. They were actually very clean. Got this at a yard sale And I'm going to guess I have it was in with a bunch of other games, 35 games that I paid $30 for or so, which came with it came in with that Paper Mario GameCube game, which I sold for $104 or $140. I don't remember. It was quite a significant game find. But anyway, this is another game out of that lot, which I have $30 into, so it was really good. But if you see this one, it's worth about $35. EAS. So, a little story about Jack and Diane here. Well, no, not Jack and Diane, but Steve and some of his friends went out looking for some of this stuff last year because we found out it was discontinued. It is incredibly hard to find now, but yet I found one. This one is actually at a yard sale, surprisingly enough. Even last year when it was going out, it was selling for $50 to $70, depending on which one you had. There was chocolate, strawberry, there was vanilla. I think there was a couple chocolates. Anyway, I sent in a lot of these to Amazon. They did really well FBA, but they were heavy because they weigh over 2 pounds each. But anyway, we found this one at a yard sale. It was brand new sealed, still in date. So I asked $80 plus $10 shipping, and I got it. This one is discontinued. If you come across it, you can get decent money too. You probably get a little bit more out of the chocolate. The chocolate seemed to be the most popular when we were selling it, and the vanilla. So I don't know how well the strawberry would do back then because I never had any. The chocolate and vanilla did really well. It's just jump rope, Walmart retail arbitrage. Don't remember why I didn't sell these on Amazon. Maybe I don't remember, to be honest with you. But this one sold for $13.99. I think I got $2 to $3 into it. Not very much, but they were pretty lightweight, and they ship first class, of course. So a little bit of money. I still have 3 left out of 4. So well, they'll sell from here on out, but at least I sold one of them. This is also retail arbitrage. This came from the Dollar Tree. It was just an experiment I was trying. I bought one of each of their, they are flower pot huggers. So you hang this on the side of your flower pot. There's a frog and there's a little gnome guy and there's this guy and a couple others. So I wanted to see if I could actually sell something from the Dollar Tree and make a profit on it. So you pay $1, and in Ohio where I'm at, it's $1 plus 5.75 or something percent tax. So I just $1.06 apparently, just round it up a little bit. And I actually charge shipping on them too. So I'm making $2.50, $3 on these things. So that's not too bad. No, don't run out to Dollar Tree and look for these. First of all, they're a summer thing. And second of all, they don't sell very well at all. This one I've had for 6 months or so. It's been a while. It's not, the experiment did not work out well on this particular item. RBG, she just passed away this past week, and our condolences to her family. I just happen to have a couple of these. I had 2. They are a biography that was done a few years ago, and on the eve of her passing, both of these sold. I had had them for well over a year with no activity on them. So unfortunately, when somebody dies, their thing has become a little bit more desirable, and that's what happened in this case. It did not sell this for $425. I took an offer of $225. I'd actually sold this thing like 4 times. Nobody ever paid for it. This time it stuck. So I was taking whatever offer I felt I was comfortable with. The reason I took a $225 plus shipping, by the way, offer is because we paid $8 for this on the Highway 127 sale. Everything you see in this picture came with it. All the thread, all the attachments, everything. And so $225 from an $8 investment. I'll do that any day of the week. And it took a little while to sell. My cat is trying to get on my keyboard over here, so that's why I keep moving. Once I moved it, she sat down. I was testing a DVD player, so she's sitting on top of the DVD player. So anyway, a good little buy there from the 127 sale. We got, I think, 10 sewing machines at that sale altogether. This was or Walgreens exclusive Spider-Man Noir, which means black, I think. Black Spider-Man. So we bought this one when I first started retail arbitrage and realized I could send Funkos in to FBA. What I didn't realize at the time was that I could only sell them in collectible condition and not new. I had to get ungated for new, which eventually I did do. I've had these for like 3 years now. They're finally actually starting to sell. I sold 2 in the last month, so hopefully I have 1 left apparently. So anyway, I held on to these for a very long time. I think I have $6 into them, so I'm not making a lot of money. But it was something I tried when I first started doing FBA, and quickly learned that collectible doesn't sell. New does, even though it's in the same condition. This is I try to get ungated in DVDs, and this was one of the purchases I made to, submit my invoices and stuff. And it didn't work, but I have been able to sell these. I paid, I think, $1.29 or something a piece for these movies. There was several different movies, but this is the only one that seems to sell. This is Final Shot, the Hank Gathers story, and it seems to be fairly popular. I sell maybe 1 a month. I have 5 left. So, and it only became popular recently. I've had these probably for a year as well. And in the last 5 months or so is when it became popular. And I sell about 1 a month, sometimes a little more, sometimes, it's just the average. Cassette tapes, still popular. These are high bias XL2s. High bias is a little bit better than normal bias. So I asked $21.99 free shipping for these. I'm sure I have a quarter a piece into at a yard sale. And I got $21.99. So that's a really good return on my investment. Here is lesson number 2, folks. Lesson number 2. Great little sale here, $99 plus the buyer paid calculated shipping. It went to a drop shipper, and I know it went to a drop shipper because they give you the same old spiel, but this time they asked me to do a couple special things, and I have no problem doing that. I may in the future, after I explain to you what happened with this typewriter. So the carrier, which holds the ink ribbon in the center, they wanted it in the center, and they said put a little paper or air pillows just to keep it there so that it doesn't move in transport. No problem. Easy to do. I have no problem obliging that kind of request. However, when I put the air pillows in there, the ones I chose were a little small, so there was still a lot of movement of the carrier. So I decided, in my infinite wisdom, to pull the air pillows out. One of them got caught on something in there and broke the carrier. Well, obviously, I don't have a replacement carrier. There was nothing I could do to fix the carrier. And even if I did have a replacement carrier, I would have had to take the entire machine apart to replace it. So what I've done, of course, I had to cancel the sale. What I've done is taken all the parts of this machine because I took it apart to see what I could do. Obviously, there was nothing I could, but the keyboard will sell. That cover that you see in the front of there, that'll sell. The clear cover will sell. The roller will sell. The motherboard in there will sell. The power supply will sell. So I still will make some money off this thing, just not the quick and easy sale I thought it was going to be. By the way, I paid $10 for this guy at a yard sale. So if you're seeing this is a really lightweight typewriter. If you're seeing stuff like this, pick it up. It probably, or at least look it up. It probably will sell. Not all typewriters sell. I did look up a couple of typewriters today, and those weren't any good. But the other typewriter was. So Zojirushi, same yard sale, by the way. This was $25 as the typewriter. Zojirushi Home Bakery Supreme BBCC-X20. It's a bread maker. It makes 2-pound loaves, or you can put 2 pounds of dough in there. I don't know. I don't know how to even work this. No idea what it does. But my wife had the exact same machine, so she knew all about it. and we paid $25. Sold it for the full ask of $129.99 plus calculated shipping. It needed a little cleaning. I took the top apart because you have to take the top apart to get to the glass. The glass, you couldn't even see through the glass anymore. So, it's a used machine. So I took that out, cleaned that glass so you could see through it. It's crystal clear. I made sure the inside of the machine was clean. Of course, I disinfect everything with isopropyl alcohol. And that's not because of the COVID or anything. That's just because it's a good cleaner, and that's what I use. So anyway, we sold this one. Pretty good return there. 25 into 129. I don't know what the story on these are, and I say that because we've had them for a long time, probably a year and a half. These probably, and I'm almost certain, they came from our scratch and dent store that we go to on occasion. We had 4 of them, and all 4 sold in a matter of a week. So whether this has become discontinued or what, I don't know. But hey, they sold. We have less than $5 into them, probably less than $3 into them from that store. And like I said, I don't know why they all sold within a week when we've had them for so long, but they did. These are 5 DeWalt. They're reference books of some sort. I guess a professional can look at them and see what they need. I don't know. I have no idea what they really are, but they looked like they'd never been used. And I got them for $3 at a yard sale. And I said, well, they've got to have some value. It didn't have a barcode or anything to scan. I didn't feel like looking them up, so I just bought them. There was no real comps when I got home. And so I just threw a price of $39.95 and took $39.95 free media mail shipping because they are books. And that was that. DeWalt's a good name, so I had a feeling that they would have some value. And the condition they were in was fantastic. So I figured we'll sell them. I don't look everything up. This was a great find. Because of my former preoccupation on the internet, being in the Bigfoot world, I knew a little bit about this. A lot of people use them for recordings out in the woods or recording anything, really. You can record anything with it. It's just a handheld recorder. So Zoom H2N. It takes 2 AA batteries and an SD card. It's really super lightweight, and that's why people like to use them. This was $3 at a yard sale, and it was new. They had broken the seal, but everything inside was sealed. So I sold this new open box. I did throw some batteries in it just to make sure it turned on. It's been delivered. I haven't heard any complaints about it, so it must have been what they expected. So $3 into $129.99 plus shipping. Pretty good little deal there. And I only had that for a couple of days. I got these this weekend. I got about 15 packs of photo paper at one yard sale for $10. I've sold photo paper in the past. I know it sells. But when I went to look these ones up, I didn't look them at the yard sale. I just noticed they were all brand new, so I bought them. When I went to look these up, not a lot of comps. So I just decided to throw prices on them. And this particular one, I threw $14.99 on it, and it sold. I have one more of this one left. Paid $10 for all of them, so that takes care of that, and the rest will be profit. Anytime I see anything vintage Rubik's, I pick it up. Usually if you get them for 50 cents or $1, and such is the case here. I probably have $2 into this because the book came from a different place. So I probably paid $1 or maybe 50 cents for the book, $1 or 50 cents for the snake, and I sold it for $21.99. They were both in really good condition, actually. I don't think the snake was used very much, and the book definitely hadn't been read very much. So very cool to find those things. I remember these when I was a kid. This is a retail arbitrage from a few months ago. I thought I had sold them all, and I found one in my in one of my bins here that I have, death pile bins, and so I threw it up. I was getting more at the time when I was selling these like crazy. The reason these didn't go on Amazon is because I'm gated in Brita, and I have no desire to get ungated. I paid $1.75, I think, for these, and I'm okay with making $11.99 free shipping on them. So they sold really as soon as I listed them. They sold, and that was still the case when I listed this one. I don't know how it got in the death pile bin, but it might have been it may have just fell in there. Who knows? I got a lot of death pile bins around here nowadays. Polaroids still sell. I've been talking about this on the morning show a little bit lately. Start looking at your Polaroids and look them up. Not all of them are created equal. This is a Sun 660 as opposed to the regular 600 cameras, although it uses the same film. It uses a 600 film. This one holds a little bit more value. For some reason, it sold for $26.95 plus $10 shipping. So, I'll pick these up generally. This one, the Sun 660, I'll pay a little bit more for because I know now that it sells for a little more. But generally, I paid $3 or less for Polaroid cameras, and that's down from the $5 I used to pay for it. But when it comes to the Sun 660, if I can get this kind of money out of it, I will pay the $5 for them. Maybe even $6 or $7. I've paid as much as $8 for a Polaroid when they were at their prime. Here's another Polaroid. See, Polaroid's still selling. Now, you used to get $30 ship for these. Now you're getting $25 ship for them. But when you pay $1 for them, and they fit in a 6x6x6 box from Walmart. That's where I get my 6x6x6 boxes. It's a good little sturdy box, and they ship for about $8 generally. Maybe a little bit more if they're going farther away, or a little bit less if they're closer. But we'll say about $8, and you're paying $1, so you're making a decent little return on them. So I still pick them up for $3 or less. As long as they're still selling, I'll still buy. Here's some more of that photo paper, a little bit different. This one is a 50 sheet pack. Different photo, soft gloss or whatever. I don't know. Medium weight. Like I said, I picked them up because I know photo paper will sell. This lady who I bought them from used to be, I think she took photography classes in high school or college because she seemed to have, there was a whole portfolio of her stuff that was mixed in with these. And definitely a college course or a high school course on photography. And then she just gave it up. So she had a bunch of photo paper and I bought it and I'm selling it. So now you can see I'm definitely in the profit. Paid $10 again for all of it. And this one sold for $16.99. Here is another cross-stitch pattern. If you don't know by now, which you probably do, is Dimensions cross-stitch patterns tend to be the best ones to find. And Dimensions Gold collection is generally the cream of the crop. They're really nice cross-stitch patterns. So these ones usually hold a higher value. Not always, but generally they do. And again, this one has an animal on it. This time it's a wolf. I think that's a wolf. It looks like a wolf to me. It's called the Guardian. There you go. Wolf. Yeah, it's a wolf. I generally only take a couple pictures of these. There's not much you can take pictures of. There's no point in doing 12 pictures on something that, is new sealed like this. So I take the front, like you see here, and I take a picture of what the picture looks like, the finished item, and then the back. And that is it. This one took about 2 weeks to sell, but I did get $50 plus shipping. I know it's $49.99, but close enough, right? All right. Don't just sell sewing machines. I also sell sewing machine pedals. This one was $30, and I got actually good feedback on this one, I believe. This was a YDK electronic, and there's a bunch of numbers after it. If you notice, most of your sewing machines will have a pedal, and all it ever says on it is electronic. The reason is because the newer machines, anyway, all use similar pedals, and the main difference is the outlet end or the plug end. So if you look at this one, this is a 3-pronger, and the spacing tells me it goes to a Kenmore. So a modern Kenmore. And some of the Singers are like that too. So it could fit a Kenmore, it could fit a Singer, but they all use just the generic pedals anymore. And that started back, and this is probably from the 80s, 90s, somewhere in that era. Anyway, we bought this one for $1 or maybe $2 at a yard sale, and we sold it for $30. Not all pedals sell for that much. but a good portion of them sell, well, anywhere from 15 to 30 bucks is generally where I see them selling. These only sold for $5, free shipping, but when you consider I only had 10 cents in them, that's not a bad deal. So after Christmas last year, Lowe's wanted rid of them. There was a bunch of Christmas lights, which I have upstairs, which I need to get listed, the clear lights, and these fuses and a few other items that I didn't buy because they just had no resale value after Christmas. But these fuses have been selling for me all year long. And this particular version of these fuses, the 5 amp, 125 volt C7, C9 ones, you know, are now sold out. So I've got $5 for them. Cost about $2.78 to ship. So you make a buck or two. They were there. I bought them. I was there. So why not, right? And last but not least, this is an item I make. My wife actually sews them now because my sewing isn't as good as hers. But this is our Bigfoot face mask. We've sold this time around 19. I let the listing go and I had to redo the listing. So we've sold it. Overall, I have these on Etsy and eBay. We sold probably 50 of these. They're a little bit labor intensive. I print them out with what's called a sublimation printer. And then I heat press them onto polyester fabric, and then there's a cotton backing on them. And then they attach via this mechanism here, which is paracord, actually. Paracord with the white stuff taken out of the center. You can see the whole mask backside there. And they have a little adjuster clamp on them. I forget what those are, cord clamp. That's what they're called. And this is my own, not really my design. This is the Patterson Gimlin film. This is actually one I sewed. And it's a little bit different when the final product looks a little different than this. This is the very first one I made. But anyway, it was a good little deal. We sell 1 or 2 a week nowadays. We were selling a lot more than that at one point. But the everybody that needed masks has them now. So, but we get $15 a piece for them, which covers maybe the materials and labor. The material for this thing is actually a sheet from Walmart. We cut them into shape, and then I press them, and then we cut them into shape, and then, of course, my wife sews the cotton back onto them. She's very good at it, and then I put the paracord in and the clamp, and that is it. So that is what we had for sale and what we sold. Here's the mask, the final. Hold on. There it is. So it looks a little different. I wanted to make the Bigfoot a little bit bigger. But nobody's complained about the picture being slightly different. That's the backside. That's the cotton. And then the paracord goes in it. This one's sold today. So that's why I put it in the video for you. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that little like button down below. Make sure you hit the bell too, because or subscribe if you haven't already, but hit the bell so you get further notifications. And you'll want to hit that bell because on Monday nights we do an auction on this channel, and we sell a lot of good stuff. We got a good stuff coming up every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to share this video if you think it'll help somebody else. And thanks for watching. And